People have always tried to cheat the system and get an advantage over others by any means. It's been like that for ages, and it still is. Therefore, first examples of cheating appeared shortly after the introduction of first video games. There are two kinds of cheats. The first one is cheat codes that are added to a game by developers, like famous IDDQD and IDKFA in Doom. They are used for debugging purposes by developers and are usually not documented. However, curious minds discover these codes, and there you are, immortal, going through walls and having infinite ammo. Basically, cheats like that are harmless. They can be seen only in single-player games. Multiplayer ones don't have them.
Another kind of cheating is using a game's vulnerabilities to change its parameters. In other words, it's hacking. These cheats are causing serious harm to online games as they give the cheater a significant advantage over honest players. Perhaps none of the popular multiplayer games managed to avoid cheating. This was the case with Tanki Online as well.
There are two famous codes, @scree and @score. These are debug codes that are used on the test server only.
All the other cheats are illegal. Using them is a direct violation of the rules of the game as well as breaking the law. First cheats appeared near the beginning of the life of the game, in the late summer of 2009. Tanki Online was just a couple of months old.
The game had basically no protection from hacking back in the day, so there was no need in making special software, just some program that would allow to interfere with the game's resources.
The first cheat is speed hack. Using this special software, players were speeding up the game timer. Their tanks were moving and reloading faster, which meant higher damage. Speed hack was quite common and was even used by some unscrupulous clans in cybersport battles.
Even slight changes in the game timer used to give quite a significant advantage to experienced players. Cheaters' railgun was reloading a bit quicker, and often it was enough to decide the outcome of the battle. Proving that someone used the speed hack wasn't easy, but it was done, and all the clans convicted of cheating were disqualified.
The fight against speed hack lasted several months. Cheaters managed to bypass first protection methods, but in the end, a series of checks was introduced that allowed to defeat this cheat completely. The next major thing was substituting resources of maps. A bit of manipulations, and there you are playing on a slightly different map. For example, Silence was a level below. For everyone else, it looked as if the player is under the ground. So, the hacker was able to capture flags and shoot others, but players couldn't get him. For the actual cheaters, substituted maps didn't look too good, as they were clumsy and poorly made.
Maps were modified in different ways, removing walls, digging tunnels under buildings that were used for stealing enemy's flag, or simply lowering the whole map one level below.
This was the first serious epidemic of cheating in the game. Servers were filled with dishonest players. However, the possibility of substituting resources of maps was closed rather quickly.
First cheats were easy to implement. Speed hack and substituting resources of maps didn't require any effort from a user. When these gaps were closed, it came to the protocol.
At that time it wasn't encrypted and wasn't that difficult to understand in case a cheater had special software. Cheaters were simply substituting commands that the client would send to the server. Malefactor could just say, "I shot and hit the tank," or "I captured the flag and instantly took it to my base." The server just agreed.
At the same time, the substitution of resources returned. However, now cheaters substituted not maps resources, but certain libraries that contained parameters of hulls and turrets. One of the most popular things was increasing Firebird's firing angle up to 360 degrees and its range to 1000 meters. Everyone who was in the direct line of sight of the cheater was destroyed. What's interesting is that damage has always been calculated on the server, so cheaters were unable to change this parameter. The same thing was done to Izida. Cheaters loved to change the size of drop boxes. A gold box could have been made the size of an entire map, and the cheater easily caught it. The same effect was achieved by increasing the size of a tank. It occupied the whole map and got all the bonuses. Simple players were unable to see these things. Drop boxes were just disappearing before touching the ground.
Hacking protocols and substituting libraries were unpleasant things, but in terms of popularity and harm caused to the game, they were inferior to the previous speed hack and substituting resources of maps. Moreover, they were dealt with relatively quickly.
Life of moderators wasn't easy during the epidemics of cheating. They were required to quickly react to players' complaints in chat. There was no out command back in the day. Enter battles and record videos or simply take screenshots to punish a violator. At the same time, they dealt with offenses about cheaters, developers and assistants.
Before the spectator mode was introduced, moderators had to have many accounts of different ranks to be able to enter various battles, collect proof and punish a violator. With the spec, the whole procedure became several times easier. Now we were able to instantly enter any battle and collect the necessary proof. But still, this activity took almost all of our time, and someone always had to be on duty at the expense of their personal matters to at least somehow help the players. The real disaster happened in the late winter, early spring of 2012. It was a real epidemic.
By that time, all the easy ways to cheat the game were closed. Making an actually working cheat required some serious technical knowledge. This is where professional hackers stepped in. They were inventing cheats, selling them, and getting decent income.
They started to interfere in the internal memory. This is actually the most common way of hacking a game and potentially gives full control over everything that happens on the client.
The first cheat of that period was the teleport. With it, you could instantly collect all the drop boxes or capture a flag in no time. Procedure was simple. A cheater programmed a number of points and then instantly moved to any of them by pressing a hotkey. Mega Kill, also known as Frying Pan, appeared at the same time. All the tanks in the map would forcefully move to the same spot and the cheater just shot them or burned using Firebird. For the rest of the players, it looked completely normal. They were driving and shooting, but their health was decreasing for no reason. Mega Kill was then changed. Cheater moved all the tanks onto the map and easily destroyed them there. However, this one was less effective than the previous cheats. Another interesting cheat. Hackers figured out that the turret is immaterial and it's useless to shoot it. They used to leave the hull in some safe place, disconnected the turret, and were flying all over the map. The only gun that could kill a cheater like that was Shaft, the only turret which dealt damage according to the visual geometry, but only in the sniping mode. Sometimes, hackers hid their tanks inside buildings and shot everyone from there. Sorted cheat. A cheater used to place his tank onto the flag of his team. At the same time, enemy's flag should have been in direct line of sight. The tank used to stretch out in length up to the enemy's base and get the flag in no time.
There were lots of cheats and they were actively sold for money. Hackers used to sell whole packs of cheats. Another way of using them was power leveling. Cheaters were making recruit accounts marshals in a matter of seconds and sold these accounts in huge quantities.
We managed to handle this trade by starting to block users with abnormal deviations in the statistics. For example, marshal accounts that were registered just a few days ago, as it was impossible to get such a rank in such a short time without cheating. Another example is players of high ranks with none or very few kills. Statistics is a stubborn thing, and blocking accounts based on these grounds was incredibly safe and faultless. It failed just once.
One player had a marshal account called Pacifist with only one kill. Of course we blocked it, but then we found out that the guy wasn't a cheater. He earned his rank basically without killing, just by capturing flags and healing his teammates.
The epidemic of cheating was growing faster and faster. By the spring of 2012, it has grown to such an extent that threatened the very existence of the game. All the indicators were falling lower and lower every day. In a relatively short period of time, the maximum number of players online got from 60 to 30,000.
Drastic measures were needed. In our fight against cheating, we even tried to address cheaters themselves. There were those who offered their help, but in the end this cooperation gave nothing. There was no tangible benefit from these kind of cheaters.
Server physics could have been the way out. It meant complete simulation of all the processes on the server. It would be the silver bullet, almost complete protection against all cheats. Alexey Husainov, together with Mikhail Fominych, Alexey Kvirin and Pavel Ponomarev, started implementing the project and completed it fairly quickly. However, numerous experiments showed that full simulation of physics on the server is impossible. That's why now it doesn't work at full.
This was an important milestone. If at first we were fighting against specific cheats, after the change we started to close vulnerabilities. We began to think strategically. At the same time, we came up with a system of server checks that would allow to separate actions of fair players from cheaters.
Step by step, all of these cheats were defeated. Anti-cheat created a year ago closed the vast majority of weak spots in the system. And the main thing, starting from that moment, any cheats that give a really big advantage over others became impossible. Of course, the remaining small things are annoying, and that is why a new anti-cheat system is almost ready.
This is the next step of improving the anti-cheat software. It is really thought out this time. Of course, there isn't a system that is 100% hacker-proof, but the game's not worth the candle this time. Achieving a significant effect will be impossible.
By the way, it was cheating that ruined the Madness map. It had a very unusual geometry. A fall from the top of the map resulted in a tank gaining tremendous speed and literally punching through the texture of the map. Server used to decide that it's cheating and removed the player from battle. Madness was extremely popular among cheaters. All these things prevented users from comfortable playing. That is why it was decided to remove the map. Currently, game designers are thinking about how to refine and modify Madness.
Actually, the configuration of Madness is its main advantage and disadvantage at the same time. We can't leave it so high with so many holes in the ground as it caused all the problems. But even slight modifications will change the spirit of Madness, and it really matters. We are trying to solve this issue, to make the map function properly and remain 100% playable.
Another innocent victim of cheating is Moon Silence. Unfortunately, the map will soon be removed from the game. Phishing has always been another serious problem for players along with cheating. It has many different forms, but the goal is always the same: get your account information.
It can be any resources that offer you free crystals, awards, moderators' powers, an invite code to the test server and things like that, and ask you for your login and password in exchange. Phishers can pretend to be technical support representatives and tell you that your account will be blocked if you don't provide your password.
Remember, crystals can be earned in battles or by taking part in official contests that are organized in the game forum. There are no cheats to get free crystals.
And the most important thing, real employees of Tanki Online will never ask for your password. We don't need it to help you. There are plenty of phishing sites on the internet and we are doing our best to shut down all of them, but still, be careful.
The fight against cheating wasn't easy. It happened that we suffered defeats, but now it's all under control. The last half-hearted attempts of cheating can still be seen in the game, but in the near future, with the new anti-cheat released, they will come to naught.